morning. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and we are having, y'all, my oven just came up to temp. We're having squash coming out of our ears. So I fry squash, I saute squash, I stew squash. So today, I haven't done this in years. I am making squash dressing, and the original recipe calls for jiffy cornbread, and I used to use jiffy, or you can use just the in the little package, the cornbread mix. You can use Mexican cornbread. And Roy's just coming in out of the garden. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
What you bringing me? Ooh. Oh, let me see them. Let me show them.
These aren't yard long, but
These are not, yeah, we have some running beans that are like the big ones, the real big ones. They'll grow a yard long. But he just picked these this morning. So we picked some green beans yesterday, so I'll just mix these in with them. They grow, they grow long, and they're delicious. So I'm going to make my own gluten-free cornbread to go in it today. And because it's dressing, it does have cornbread in it. But like I say, you can use the jiffy. You can use any kind of little cornbread mix that you want. You can even Mexican, whatever. But in this bowl, I have 1 cup of plain cornmeal and 1/4 cup of gluten-free flour. And since it's plain cornmeal and gluten-free, it doesn't have any salt, no rising agents, anything in it. So I'm putting a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm putting 2 teaspoons of baking powder in it. Okay? And I'll just kind of stir that up, get that incorporated well. Now, if you're not gluten-free, use whatever you want. And I'm going to mix buttermilk with it. Whole buttermilk, of course. Love whole buttermilk. I hope I have enough. I'm almost out. Means I got to go to the store because I cook a lot with buttermilk. Oh, well. Oh, I do? Okay. All right. Good. I may have to add a little water to this because it's not going to be enough buttermilk. But I'm going to go ahead and put 1 egg in it. And when I make my dressing like for Thanksgiving, what cornbread dressing, I put my onions in my bread. And the reason is we like them cooked well. And sometimes they give us indigestion if we just put them raw in the dressing. So years ago, I started cooking my onions in my cornbread. Let me get some water. It's not going to take much. I've got some in another refrigerator, but it's outside, and I'm not going to get Roy to go get it right now. So if you don't have what you need, improvise. And it's not going to hurt to go in the cornbread, I can assure you. Okay? So that was probably a 1/4 cup of water that I had to add to it. And I'm cooking this in a 10-inch cast iron skillet. And if I was doing cornbread for us to eat, I would heat my skillet up, but not for this. It really doesn't matter. Okay. All right. My oven's up to temp. I got it on 425 degrees. And I'll put this in, and it's going to cook about 20 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'll cut up my squash. Okay, I thought I would show you how I'm going to cut my squash. I just take the ends off like this, and then I just slice them in like 1/4-inch slices. Let me make sure my mic's on. Am I green? Because I have had so much trouble with my mic. Not with my mic, with me. Okay, with me, forgetting to turn it on, forgetting to put it on. And once you put that little adapter into the side of your phone or your iPad and you don't turn your mic on, you're not going to have any sound. And I've done that lately. So, all right. I'm cutting these, and you can cut them any way you want to. All you want to do is just boil them and get them soft. And it only takes 2 cups. So these are big squash. And I use my big squash for things like casseroles, squash dressing, things like that. Because the seeds in them, now these aren't, but the seeds in them a lot of times are bigger. But these, we've had a lot of rain, and these grow so fast till they get big, but the seeds don't get real big in them. So that's a good thing. Because when they do that, when the seeds get real big, when they stay on the vine 2 or 3 days, and then, yeah, these are criminal squash. They're sweeter than regular squash. And we've told you how they grow. They grow up and don't grow out so big. And the seeds in them don't get as big as they do in the regular bush squash. I call them bush squash. I don't know what you call them. But anyway. Yeah. Okay, I think this is 2 cups, and it only took 2. Since I've cut the ends off, I'll fry this one later. But I'm going to put some salt in here, and I'm going to boil it till it gets tender. By that time, my cornbread will be ready, and then we're going to put this together. My squash are done. My cornbread is done. I've got my ingredients out, and I told you it takes 2 cups of squash. This is 3, but it's all right. I drain my squash to where they're just like mashed potatoes. I like a few chunks in them, so I'll take my little potato masher that my daughter Jenny gave me, and I'm going to mash them, leaving a few chunks in it, just a few. Okay. Now, to this, I'm going to add some onion powder, maybe 1/4 teaspoon, a little garlic, maybe 1/8 teaspoon. Okay. Now, since I'm doing gluten-free, if you're not gluten-free, use canned cream of chicken soup. But since I am, I make my own cream of chicken soup. And I've shown y'all before how to do it, but I'm going to show you on another video. I'm going to come on and just do a video on cream of mushroom, on gluten-free cream of mushroom and cream of chicken soup. So this is the equivalent. This is 1 cup. I'm not sure I'm going to use it all. I'll see once I get my cornbread in there. And I'm not putting my eggs in it now because my squash were so hot. I'm going to put them in just a minute. Maybe this cream of chicken soup will cool it down a little bit. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of my cornbread in. Now, I may not use all this cornbread. We'll see if I think I need it. And it's delicious. I've already tasted of it. Really good. And in my casserole dish back here, I've got a 1/2 stick of melted butter. And I melted it in my little casserole dish so I wouldn't have to spray it because it's already got the butter in it. Okay. Put a little bit more. Okay, before I put any more, I'm going to put my eggs in. This may be enough because you don't want it dry. You want it to stay real moist. And this cornbread, even though you've cooked it, it's going to absorb some of this moisture while you're cooking your dressing. Okay. And these were small eggs, so I'm putting 2 eggs in it. 1 extra large or large egg or 2 small ones. So And these are small. Take my little masher and mash my cornbread up some. Now, like I say, you want to leave your squash where they've got little chunks in them. Okay. All right. And black pepper. Can't forget that. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to taste of it, see if it's got enough salt in it. I put salt in my dressing, in my cornbread, and I put salt in my squash. So I'm going to see if it needs more. Oh. That is so good. That is real good. It does not need any more salt, and there's salt in my cream of chicken soup. I am going to put a little bit more onion powder, so that's probably a half a teaspoon of onion powder. No more garlic. Let me get another spoon. No more garlic and no more salt. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna taste it again. This is delicious raw. I can only imagine how it's going to taste. And that was plenty of cornbread because they're not as big as what, as the recipe I made is bigger and more than what the one of those little packs is. Okay. Y'all. This is going to be so good. All right. Got my oven set on 350. If this is good when it gets cooked as it is raw, it's going to be delicious. 350, and we're going to cook it for 30 minutes.
Now, welcome to my part.
This is Roy's part.
I love dressing.
Okay, cook 30 minutes on 350, and I'm about to cut it. It's hot, real hot. Roy's getting pretty.
I'm getting pretty.
Okay.
Oh, that looks good, honey.
That looks delicious.
That looks delicious.
Got little hunks of squash in it.
Ooh.
If you want it thicker than this, you put it in a smaller dish. But I didn't want mine. I wanted mine kind of thin. So, okay, baby. Now,
She wants me to burn my tongue.
when we have chicken now, and Roy said earlier, he said you could put chicken in this and it would be delicious, like you do chicken and dressing. Roy likes giblet gravy on his dressing, so I left out a little bit of my cream of chicken soup here, and because I knew he is a gravy person.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew he was going to want some gravy. Some cream of chicken soup.
Oh, I'll go to my man cave if you don't have gravy.
That's good cream of chicken soup,
love
y'all.
gravy.
I got to show y'all how to do it. I'm gonna taste yours, some with the gravy. It's hot, isn't it?
It's good both ways. That's good dressing. It just needs an old red rooster in it.
No, this is delicious.
This is delicious.
If y'all got more squash, then you know what to do with make squash dressing. Even if you don't have more and you buy it special to make this, please do.
And you reduce your carbs in your dressing. So if
by adding squash.
Yes,
yeah.
Because
you use less cornbread and you use more squash. That is good, y'all.
That's wonderful.
That is delicious. Okay. It's hot. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. Thank Roy for being my taste tester. Of course, he loves his job.
Mm.
He's been
I'm
out.
learning to be good at it.
He's been out in the garden, and can y'all see he started wearing suspenders? I love them.
I did that to hold me down in my pants.
I know.
I can't jump out of a mat. It pulls me back down in my pants every time.
Thank y'all for joining me this morning. Share this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell, and remember, I keep forgetting to tell y'all, the recipe is always in the description box. Underneath the name of the recipe, there's a little word that says more. Click on that, it describes the recipe, and then more will come up again. We'll be right beside that. Hit that, and that's where all my recipes always are. And I forget to tell y'all that. Remember, food feeds the family.
More.
Food feeds the family. Family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. Put deliciousness back in healthy food. Love y'all. See you next. He's crazy. See you next time.